your attention for the next 5 to 10 minutes. We are going to start chapter 8 and we'll start with ratio. Okay? Jarius, I told you to bring over. Or you want to sing, you come out here to sing. Yeah, you see so many people want to hear you sing. Okay. Not everyone learn ratio in primary school. So we'll have to explain a bit. Ratio is a word used to describe a comparison of two numbers. Okay? So for example, let's say a class has 23 boys and 70 girls. Then we can say that the ratio of the boys to girls is 23 is to 17. Okay? It is just used as a comparison of number. Okay? So it is actually, we can also write it as a fraction. 23 to 17 is also like 23 is to over 17. When we are comparing the number of people. Okay? So what is important to note here is when we are comparing these numbers, they must be of the same unit, or we must be comparing same thing. Then we can write it as a ratio. So when we are comparing boys to girls, they are all human beings. So we can count number of boys, number of girls, then we can put it in a ratio. Things that we cannot, Jarius, enough, move there. Go. Enough talking from the two of you. Move there. Yes. Next time we'll be singing already. Go. Sit down. Okay, come on, continue. So, ratio, we can only compare numbers that are same, describing same thing, or measuring same thing. So now question, can we have a ratio of distance to the amount of time? How many kilometers? Let's say 3 kilometers is to 2 hours. Can we write it as a ratio? Can we write 3 kilometers is to 2 hours? Ariq nodding your head. Okay, cannot. I just told you all it must be of the same measurement. So kilometer and hours, they are different, they are measurements of different quantity. So we cannot put it in the ratio. Anything in the ratio means it can cancel one. Okay? 3 kilometer is to 2 kilometer, then can. 3 kilometer to 2 hour, cannot. 3 kilometer to 200 meter, can or cannot? Okay, someone say can. Anyone say cannot? Aska say cannot. Okay. Just now I mentioned same unit, so maybe when you see kilometer, meter, they are different, so cannot. But they are actually measuring similar things or same thing. They are measuring distance. Then kilometer, can we convert it to meter? Every 1 kilometer is 1,000 meter. So 3 kilometer can be written as 3,000 meter. Then it becomes same unit already. So if the units can be converted until the same unit, then we can write it as a ratio. Okay? Can? So the answer is can, kilometer and meter can. Milliliter and liter can, because one can be converted into the other. So it must be of the same measurement, of the same type of measurement. Okay? Kilometer to hours cannot. Kilometer to liters of water also cannot, because they are different things. That one we will learn later. For different units, different measurement, we call it differently. So ratio is comparing two numbers. These two numbers must be of same unit, and because when they are the same unit, they can be cancelled away. That's why finally ratio finally got only numbers. No units. Because the units appear on both sides and they can be cancelled away. Just like fraction. Fraction, when the top and bottom we have same thing, we just cancel it away. Okay? So in ratio, remember finally only numbers. So we cannot have any units in the most simplified form. So for ratio also 3 kilometer to 2 kilometer, finally we just write 3 is to 2. We don't write any units for ratio. Ratio is just a comparison in numbers already. It is just like a fraction, only numbers. Okay? Then, one more thing that ratio is like fraction. If I have a fraction 4/6, can I simplify this fraction further? 4/6 and 2/3. Sorry, it's 4/6. 4 is the same as 2 times 2. 6 is the same as 2 times 3. when I have the common factor, both appear on the top and the bottom, and the numerator and the denominator, and it's all multiplication, I can cancel them. Likewise for ratio. If my ratio is 4:6, I can also simplify it to 2:3 because I can divide both sides by 2. Okay? And then in ratio, we don't want decimal, we don't want fractions. All these numbers here, we only want whole numbers. Okay, so ratio got these few rules when we are simplifying. Can? Okay, so with that, we can try some questions already. So, ratio is comparing numbers. We can only compare numbers when they are measuring the same things. And then we can simplify ratios. So with that, we can try workbook page 21 already. So for ratio, 15 is to 25. We want to simplify. So we don't want to change this ratio. Okay? You don't need to write this, but now I just write this to show you. 15 is to 25 is similar to 15 over 25. So if it is 15 over 25, we can simplify further. We can see the numbers, numerator, denominator all end with 5. Meaning it is divisible by 5. Or 15 is also 3 times 5. 25 is 5 times 5. Common factor we can cancel. So 15 is to 25 is actually the same as 3 is to 5 in terms of value. Okay? So similarly, a ratio 15 is to 25. You can imagine 15 boys to 25 girls. We can have a simpler ratio. The ratio will describe how much the proportion is like. Okay? So 15 is to 25. We can also simplify it. Both sides divide by 5. Then this ratio can be simplified to 3 is to 5 also. Remember, I have mentioned before how to simplify a fraction. Remember, if I have 146 over 398, how do I simplify this fraction? Do I go and do my manual factorization myself? Hey, this one I mentioned in class before. How to simplify? You every day bring your calculator one. Then just key in 146 fraction over 398. Your calculator will help you do the job. 73 over 199. Okay, so this part is the calculator will do the job. So similarly, if I want to simplify any ratio. I also don't want to go and find factor myself or go and factorize myself. Might as well, I just key in. Since this one is smaller, 48 is smaller, I just key in 48 over 90 into my calculator. 48 over 90, my calculator will simplify it to 8 over 15. So the 8 corresponds to my 48, the 15 corresponds to my 90. So my 8 is on this side, my 15 is on this side. This one your calculator can help you do. Okay? Part C. 1 over 6 smaller or 1 smaller? 1 over 6 is smaller because 1 divided by 6, so it is a smaller amount than 1. So if I want to simplify this ratio, similar to what I did just now, I can key in the smaller one as the numerator, the bigger one as the denominator. Then my calculator will help me do the job also. Okay. See so I key in the smaller number 1/6 as the numerator. Then I key in the larger number 1 as the denominator. Then my calculator tell me is 1:6. So this 1 over here corresponds to the 1 over 6 and this 6 corresponds to the 1. So that is one way that I could have gotten my answer also. Okay, so that is one way I can get my answer also. I key in 1 over 6 divided by 1 inside my calculator. My calculator show me this is the same as 1:6. Then this was my left, this was my right. So this is my left, this is my right. So the answer is 1:6. So this is one way. Calculator can help you do this. Then I will show you what they wanted you to go through manually. When we do part 1, just now, how we simplify is, here I divide by 5, here I also divide by 5 to get 3 over 5. Okay? In a fraction, let's say I start with 1 over 2. If I multiply the same thing to the top and to the bottom, it will still be an equivalent fraction. The fractions will still be the same. If I multiply or divide the same thing, top and bottom. Okay? This is why I can get 3 over 5. I divide the same thing on both sides. So in this case, I can also multiply the same thing on both sides. Then I can make there no fraction. 1 over 6. What do I multiply to make 1 over 6 not a fraction? How can I make 1 over 6 not a fraction? I can make it not a fraction by multiplying something. What is the something that I would want to multiply to 1 over 6? Item. Think. 1 over 6 multiply what will become not a fraction? Don't know. Think. What is a possible number? You can give me any possible number. How can I make 1 over 6 multiply a number and become not a fraction? Good. 6. Or you tell me 12. 12 also can. 12 times 1 over 6. Cancel already, also no longer a fraction. 24, 18. All the multiples of 6, if you multiply, it will become not a fraction. So when I have 1 over 6 is to 1, remember we want to simplify ratio. Ratio cannot have fraction, ratio cannot have decimal. So for 1 over 6 to become not a fraction, I multiply 6. Then if I multiply the same number to both sides, the proportion will still be the same. 1 out of 6 to 1 will still be the same proportion as 1 is to 6. Okay? This is what the question wanted you to go through. To be able to do this, multiply the same thing on both sides or divide same thing on both sides to simplify the ratio. So the calculator one is a shortcut. Okay, so same, I can shortcut 0.3, 0.3 is the bigger number, so if I want to do my shortcut, I will put 0.09 on top as my numerator, 0.3 as my denominator, then my calculator will tell me smaller number to bigger number is 3 is to 10. So if I use calculator, it will tell me 3 is to 10. Okay? But what the question wants you to do is, how can I make all these number not a decimal? Okay? If I want to make numbers not a decimal, the easiest way is to multiply 10, multiply 100, multiply 1000. If I multiply 100 to this number over here, multiplying 100 will move the decimal point 1 time, 2 time. 100 got 2 zeros, that's why it will move 2 times. So I want to multiply this, because this number is now smaller than this. I want to make this not a decimal, so I try to make this side not decimal first, which is why I will multiply 100. Then this side I must also multiply 100. Then it will become 9. Then this side I multiply 100. 0.3 times 100 will become 30. Then 30 and 9 common factor is 3. Both can be divided by 3. Then you will get your final answer. Same. 10 is to 3. Okay, so these are the different skills involved in simplifying a ratio. Okay, 2 more minutes. Last 2 parts. Okay, then it comes to y. Since ratio is so similar to fraction, y must have ratio. So part E is one of the reasons. Fraction, we only compare 2 numbers. In ratio, we can compare 3 numbers at the same time. 150 is to 80 is to 100. It gives the proportion of 3 different things. Maybe it can be 150 boys to 80 girls to 100 not boy not girl. So we can compare the same amount of 3 different things at the same time. Okay? So ratio we can compare more than 2. We can compare 3 quantity at the same time. Then how we simplify? Also same. We need to find common factor between 3 numbers. Common factor of both all the 3